This is the Tamiya Hornet, first released on the 9th of October 1984, and who knew how much of an impact this RC car would have. It's now one of the most iconic RC cars of the 80s, and today we're going to be talking about how this thing became one of the most popular RC cars of all time, and how cars like this changed the RC industry forever. But why was it so popular? Well, this is partly thanks to the success of the Hornet's baby brother, the Grasshopper. The Grasshopper was released before the Hornet and started gaining lots of traction as it was the perfect first beginner model, which was also a lot more affordable compared to everything else that was available at the time. Tamiya made some changes on the Hornet by means of a larger 540 sized brush motor compared to the 380 sized brush motor that you get on the Grasshopper. The body shell on the Grasshopper was made out of ABS plastic, and on the Hornet they decided to go for a polycarbonate body, which was more flexible. They also gave the Hornet a slightly different rear suspension setup, but essentially both of the chassis were exactly the same. The Hornet and the Grasshopper were affordable options for people who wanted to get into the hobby but were previously scared away due to the high cost of other models at the time. And we need to say a huge thank you to Tamiya, because without RC cars like this and without affordable options, I don't think the RC industry would have grown as much as it has. These cars got people of all ages into the hobby, and once locked in, they helped the hobby to grow and bring in generation after generation of RC newcomers. But how do cars like this compare to modern day RC cars? Well, not great, to be fair. They don't handle very well compared to their modern counterparts, and I don't think there's much appeal when it comes to looks, especially when we consider the younger generation. People look for speed and power these days, and I can't help but feel these smaller, older retro vehicles are more suited to people who want to relive their youth, but the truth is they really aren't as good as a modern day RC car. Now, that said, there's still a great option for people who want to build their first kit, as Tamiya kits have been around for years and they are still the best in the business. Clear, precise manuals, properly labelled parts bags and very easy assembly with minimal tools still make these a great option for people who want to build something rather than buy ready to run. I built mine back in October 2021 and it was a very enjoyable experience. Now, if you missed that video, check this out. This is the build process. Now, electronics wise, I'm using the stock 540 size Tamiya brushed motor. I'm using a combined ESC and receiver by Spectrum, and that is the SPM 40. That's a 40 amp brushed ESC, and I really like these things because they save space and they save weight. Servo wise, I'm using the cheap 9kg metal geared Iconic servo. That's more than enough for a lightweight chassis like this. So I think there's only one thing left to do. Let's get the body shell back on and let's give this 80s icon another rip. So here we go then, back out again with the Tamiya Hornet. Now compared to what we've got these days, you know, this thing really can't compete, but it's not about that. It's about putting a smile on your face and reliving those 80s memories. Oh, a little jump there. It really handles terrible, to be fair, but it is an enjoyable little car. Oh, it's not going to like the leaves. I remember building this back in October 2021, and at the time I couldn't wait to get it out. It was such an enjoyable experience. Now I'm running this on 2S today and it feels like more than enough power. It's just the handling really. But look, you know, this isn't really made to be used in all these heavy thick leaves, which is why I'm trying to stick to the dirt over here. Bouncy, bouncy suspension. Let's try a few more jumps. Eee. What a great little buggy. I've got so much love for this thing and it's really making me want to buy another Tamiya. If you think that's a good idea, drop a comment down below and let me know which one to go for. There we go then guys, so is it still worth buying retro cars like this in 2023? Absolutely, especially if you miss the old days and want to relive some of those amazing RC memories you made back in the 80s. Cars like this aren't about outright performance, they're about putting a smile on your face, and let me tell you, the Hornet does exactly that. If you're looking to get into the hobby and want your first kit, I would 100% consider this or the Grasshopper, as they are great beginner kits and ideal to start you off. Tamiya of course have more expensive and more advanced cars out there which demand a lot more money and will be better performing, so you must consider the best you can afford for your budget. I run brushless RC cars daily, so for me this does feel like taking a huge step back, but I can fully appreciate the joy the Hornet would have given to a kid or a parent back in the 80s, and I can also appreciate the impact these cheap Tamiyas have had on the RC industry. What an incredible and amazing car, and controversial or not, it is an absolute icon. But do you disagree? Do you think there's another model out there that's more iconic than the Hornet? And if that's the case, drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Cheers for watching, see you on the next one. Take care. Did you enjoy today's video? If yes, then click on the top video to check out the first video I did on the Tamiya Hornet, and if you want to check out some modern day cheap alternatives, click on the bottom video.